My name is Lara Penin. I come from Parsons School of Design, New York City. I think it's important to be here because there are a number of design leaders that were invited to be part of this event, and they are in a position of power. They can influence their respective schools and communities to take action towards supporting the Sustainable Development Goals from the United Nations. Well, that is the question that we are asking ourselves in the discussion we're having today, this couple of days. And one thing that became clear in this discussion is that we can't impose things in our communities, and in great part because there are a lot of interesting things already happening. So, for example, several of our colleagues in the room today are already doing work, not, for a long time, not just started recently. So one of the things we discussed is about how can we amplify the existing initiatives already taking place, and the other aspect is how can we work with the leadership of the design schools present here to support their faculty and their students to address or to refer back, to use the framework rather of the UN Sustainability Goals in their work in a more explicit manner. So I think that is the effort that is being made right now today. So I don't think we can talk about one, the most important sustainability goal. I think there, a lot of very smart people spend a lot of time agreeing on those 17 goals. I think, however, one thing we can consider is, depending on the context you're in, you're going to probably have consider one issue more important than another. If you are in California, you're probably going to think about water consumption. If you are in Brazil or in India, you're going to think about poverty. And everybody's thinking about healthcare. I think that is always a priority. But I think there is a lot that goes into those goals that are directly connected with the contexts where people are, and and then how these issues are articulated in the concrete situations of this context, and what are the actors at play, what is at play, what is the human condition in those places, and what are the institution frameworks, what are the politicians doing, what is the political reality of that particular context. Right now, one could argue that one of the main goals that one could tackle in the U.S., for example, is related to the environment, because there's a lot of setbacks that are happening right now with the Environmental Protection Agency. They are really very backwards in relation to these goals. So I think it all depends on the political realities each one of us are immersed in. It seems, however, that as a common ground for all of us is the fact that there seems to be quite an urgency related to all of these. And the urgency is also related to the polarization of the political values and beliefs happening around the world. So I think we have to be really careful not to let our societies roll back progress already made. And that seems to me one of the biggest threats we have today, right now, that we shouldn't be able to enforce and build upon the achievements we already made in terms, even in terms of language and basic policy. But unfortunately, it seems that we are in a moment where we have to be super alert, and we have, as designers, to take the role of design activists more than ever to really respond to the regressive politics in place, even though we might not, even in the in this room, agree what is regressive politics, but I think there's some common threats that appear across the board.